500,000 missing silver eagles, 9,000 gold coins missing as well, and a $146 million fine. That is what we're going to talk to you about today, and it's a story based around two companies and their owner, a Mr. Robert Higgins. Now, the companies are Argent Asset Group and the First State Depository Company, and both of these companies were basically ways that you could store your silver safely off-site. And we're going to talk about why that's not necessarily the best idea in today's video. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe and help us continue to grow the channel. Make sure you don't miss out on your chance to win a full monster box of Silver Eagles by going to our sponsor sdbullion.com/silverseeker and get your entry today. All right, so this story is really crazy, and maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't, but I'm going to kind of give you my take on it after I tell you what happened. So basically, these two companies, which are owned by Mr. Higgins, are vault depositories, if you will. Basically, they are somewhere that you can send your silver or you can buy silver to be stored in the vault. So in other words, you send Mr. Higgins money, he uses the money to buy you so many ounces of silver, he stores these ounces of silver in your vault. And then when you request to get your physical silver sent to you, obviously you would have to pay processing or shipping fees or whatever it may be, but they will ship them to you. And then of course, you also pay a fee for the vault storage in the first place. In other words, if you have a bunch of silver there, you are going to pay a fee every month for it to be stored securely. Now, there are many depositories out in the world right now, and many of them are very legit. But the problem that you run into is that you can run into situations like what happened right here. You can run into a company that's ran by a Mr. Higgins. Mr. Higgins did not have any silver or gold in these vaults. In fact, after fraud accusations were railed against the company, an investigation revealed that there was not a single silver coin in any of the vaults, not one. Not one silver eagle was in the vaults, not one gold coin was in the vaults. Do you want to know what was in the vaults? It was completely empty, with boxes with IOUs inside of them. So basically every person that had a deposit into these vaults had a box with an IOU of how many silver or gold eagles or whatever may be were owed to that person. But none of the physical product was there. Now, the reason these fraud accusations came about is because when there would be people that had silver or gold in the vault and they would request it, there would be excuses as to why they couldn't get it right away. So the assumption for me, what I'm thinking, this is not in the official story, this is just what I'm thinking, is that Mr. Higgins' idea is that, well, I'm going to work this like a bank. You guys know how banks work, right? All of the money that you have in the bank, not everything is secured. If every single person walked into a bank today and tried to withdraw all of their cash that the bank had in deposit on them, the bank would not be able to provide all the cash. So basically, Mr. Higgins was providing a secure vault to store your silver, and he was using that silver as his own bank. In other words, he was loaning it to other people and probably trying to turn that into more money for him. He was not actually just, having you pay for a service to safely secure your silver. He was using it as money for investment or whatever it may be. Maybe he was buying big houses with it. I don't know. I don't actually know what he was doing with the money. I don't know what he was doing with the silver. But what I do know, it was not in those vaults, and it was just a bunch of IOUs. The most ridiculous story I've ever heard. And that kind of brings into question, like I said, there are actually vault companies out there. There are, bullion suppositories or depositories out there that are legitimate businesses, and they do a very good job of holding onto your silver. But that gets us into the second point of our discussion today. If you are going to be storing your silver in a vault and not in your physical possession, why not just buy paper silver? Now, I'm not saying that you should buy paper silver. I'm all for physical. But my point is if that's what you're going to be doing with your silver, you may as well just get paper silver anyway. That way you don't have to worry about, things like premiums. That way you don't have to worry about where you physically store it. You just have paper silver, and then the market goes up, you sell it, you get your profit. It's basically a stock. If you're going to put your silver into an offsite depository, you may as well just buy stocks. You may as well just buy paper silver. The whole point, guys, and this is what I really want to get into here. This is what I talk about on this channel. If you're buying silver and you're buying physical silver and you're buying physical gold, you are buying it so that you have it. You are buying it so that you have real money that you hold in your hand that's there when you need it. It is not, in some vault off-site that you then have to, be like, hey, send me my silver. We store it in case we ever do get into like an economic collapse or the dollar falls out, whatever it may be. Let me ask you a question, and this is, we're really just getting kind of into a discussion here and not really the news article, but let me ask you a question. Just think about this really quick. Just put it up in your head. Let's say that Mr. Higgins actually did have all that silver that he said it was in the vault, All the gold was there. Every single piece of silver, even down to 1 gram of silver, was 100% accounted for. It was all there. Do you think that somebody like Mr. Higgins would send you your silver if you requested it after a financial crisis? Like, let's say that our dollar became basically worthless and Mr. Higgins is like, well, I have all the silver here that I got to send back to these people, or I could take it and run. That's the problem you have when you trust other people with your physical gold and silver. Again, I've already said this, but my point to this whole story is that if you were going to invest in silver and gold and then have it stored offsite in control by somebody else, you may as well just buy paper silver. You may as well buy tech stocks or whatever it may be. And I'm not saying that any of those are bad, because I invest in things like that. I invest in tech stocks. I have, stocks in like small miners and things like that here and there whenever I feel like it's something that I want to risk on. But I look at those as a risk, a very high risk but possible high return, investment. When I look at physical silver and gold, I don't look at it like an investment. I look at it as an insurance, as a hedge, as something that I have in case the dollar does fall out. Now, I've said in many videos that I hope it never happens, and I really do hope that it never happens. I really do. I hope that I die with all my silver and my kids get it. I really do. But it's there in case it happens. All these other investments that I have, those are, to hopefully, produce more fiat currency that I need to live, to pay my bills and to eat and whatnot. That's not what my physical silver and gold is for. So if you're going to buy physical gold and silver, in my opinion, don't store it in a vault. Now, if you're going to do that, fine. There's good ones out there. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you research the company. Make sure you get some background. Make sure you know where you're sending it. You know who's in control of it. But again, I'm just going to reiterate one more time, and then we'll end the story right here. If you're going to store it off-site in control by somebody else, you may as well just buy paper or, stocks or whatever it may be. Just putting it into a vault, buying physical silver and then putting it into a vault, it really just doesn't make sense. If you think about it, it really just doesn't make sense, because that's not why we buy silver. That's not why we buy gold. But that's what I think. I would love to know what you think. So do me a favor, go down below and leave a comment and let me know what you think on this topic. Let me know what you think about this article. And if you have anything else like this you want to share with me, let me know that as well. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and help YouTube recommend this video to others. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. That really helps me out. And additionally, check out this video up here. I'm sure it's a great one if you haven't seen it yet. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and you have a fantastic rest of your day.